And welcome back to Hannity. Now, the rogue regime in Damascus is threatening retaliation for Israel. Now, this comes after multiple reports indicate that Israeli warplanes struck Syria and Syrian facilities over the weekend. Yesterday, a top Syrian official reportedly said this was, quote, a declaration of war by Israel. And while the Israeli government will not confirm nor deny the airstrike, an official told Fox News that the country is determined to prevent a transfer by the Syrian government of advanced weaponry to other regimes, and particularly terrorist groups like Hezbollah. Now, earlier, the White House responded to the reports. Watch.
Israel has, for a long time, been justifiably concerned about the transfer of sophisticated weaponry to Hezbollah. This is not just chemical weapons, but sophisticated weaponry to Hezbollah. And it is certainly within their right to take action to protect themselves.
Now, meanwhile, there are also reports that the Israeli military, in response to the escalating tension, has deployed 2 Iron Dome batteries in the north. And this potential airstrike is raising questions about what this means for us here at home and if the U.S. should have taken a greater role in addressing the crisis, especially after the president drew his little red line, his meaningless line in the sand. Joining me now with reaction, columnist, author, the one and only Coulter. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
That's our big fist pump. Well, the president drew the red line in the sand. It's funny, some idiot talk show has actually said that I was calling for war against Syria. No, I'm saying that if the president draws a red line in the sand,
right,
and then the person crosses the red line,
right,
that sends a pretty weak message that we're weak to our enemies, emboldens them, and it tells our allies that you can't count on us.
No, it's very embarrassing. I told someone today that the New York Times yesterday was reporting, the headline was, President's off-the-cuff remark creates problems with Syria. Oh, it's an off-the-cuff remark? I mean, this is more than just covering up. The media is now the Praetorian Guard to protect the president from the dumb things he does, including this. And, yeah, don't make the threat if you're not going to follow up.
Yeah, exactly.
But what he's more interested in, you know, when he's talking about, you know, the basketball player who comes out as gay, or he's talking about what his brackets are in college basketball, than paying attention to foreign policy. In this whole Syria situation, I mean, it is just one more addition to my book, Treason and Liberal Treachery from the Cold War to the War on Terrorism. Our country is always put in a more dangerous position after Democrats have been in the White House. I mean, no matter who comes in 3 years from now, we are going to be in a lot more trouble than we were, certainly when Bush left office, not only as Obama allowed Iraq to disintegrate, and that's a lot of the problem with Syria now. You have Iran trying to dominate Iraq and Syria to gang up together with Islamic lunatics. But we could have done something in Syria 2 years ago. This is what is so heartbreaking about Syria. When Assad first starts slaughtering his people, the insurgents were just normal Syrians minding their own business who are being murdered by this crazy dictator.
About 80,000.
If we had stepped in then, we would have been aiding people who are not Al-Qaeda, who are not Muslim Brotherhood. But no, Obama goes out and gets an ice cream, and who steps in? Al-Qaeda. Right, so it's like North Korea under Clinton. Now that we're in a pickle, now who do you help? The insurgents are allied with the Muslim Brotherhood.
But he's paralyzed because he can't acknowledge that terrorism even exists. So he's starting in a hole, because to get out of it, he's got to acknowledge a truth that he's been unwilling to acknowledge heretofore. Let me ask you about Benghazi. I think this could be the defining week of his presidency,
yes,
because we had incompetence before by denying the security that was requested, incompetence by not sending in the assistance that was also requested and required, and then, of course, the lies, the cover-up, and the scrub talking points that were actually right in the beginning that were done for political purposes.
Yes, and this ought to be a turning point for the media, too. I mean, this couldn't have happened if it were a Republican president, because the media would not have allowed a Republican administration to openly lie to the American people about the the attack on our embassy, led by Muslim terrorists, being, just a spontaneous demonstration that was based on a videographer here in America, who, by the way, is still in prison.
Yeah.
He is still in prison. That whole big show about how, no, it was this American who had the YouTube video, and you had, Obama referring to it, Hillary Clinton referring to it. Remember, Hillary Clinton went up to a man whose son died and could have been saved after the initial attack on Benghazi, and said to him at his son's funeral, don't worry, we're going to get the guy who made this video.
One other thing I wanted to ask you about. The South Carolina Democratic Party chairman spoke at the Jefferson Jackson Democratic Party dinner and said he intends to help send Indian American Republican Governor Nikki Haley back to where she came from. Let's roll the tape.
Now, at this time, I'd like to introduce, now do I call him Senator or do I call him Governor Shaheen? What do I call him? And about 18 months from now, hopefully he will have sent Nikki Haley back to wherever the hell she came from. And this country can move forward.
Back to wherever the hell she came from. Imagine a Republican said that. This is the head of the Democratic Party.
No, a Republican would never say this. This is covered in my book, Mugged. All the racism, the Jim Crow laws, the slavery, this all came from the Democrats. Fortunately, Republicans now outnumber Democrats in the South, but you still get the vestiges of it with guys like this.
Unbelievable. Imagine a Republican said it. Be all over the place.
No Republican would say it.
I agree. No conservative.
This is classic Democrat behavior. I mean,
look,
remember...
Wait, we can go back. There are people in the Republican Party that say stupid things.
Stupid things, but the racism is endemic to the Democratic Party. You had, I mean, just casually recently, Biden talking about Obama being clean and articulate, and Clinton saying, a few years ago he would have been getting my suitcase, and Harry Reid saying he's not, it's so wonderful that he can speak, he doesn't speak in a Negro dialect unless he wants to. No Republican on earth would ever say those things. But Democrats think, yes, but we have you all on welfare and have destroyed the black family in America, so we don't owe you anything else. Just keep voting for us and don't expect us to do anything for you, black Americans.
Coulter, great to see you.
Great to see you.